Alright everyone, welcome back. So, like I just said in our last part, we're going to be taking some of our enemy prefabs, or that were enemy units, and we need to make a few prefabs for regular combat enemies that have the battle behavior in the enemy script, but also have AI behaviors for pathfinding in the overworld. And then when the time comes and we enter battle, we need to switch those AI behaviors from our pathing behaviors to the to combat. So, how do we want to do that? Well, I think given I have my nav mesh stuff and the movement behaviors here, I'm going to start with the whatchamacallits. Is this the enemy units folder? Yeah. So we're going to start with a new folder, single enemy. Oh, let's call it enemy and enemy. No, it's already inside of an enemy folder. Enemy units and single enemy. Yeah, so first off, we're going to take out of our enemy units our test combat enemy. No, you know what? We'll leave that there, because that's kind of a part of that old system. We're going to leave that be. I am, however, going to take a duplicate of my grazing enemy unit, my patrol enemy unit, and stationary, honestly. Yeah, we'll take stationary also. And we're going to move those into our new folder. Drop the unit off of each of these. We are going to, from all three of these, we are going to remove the enemy unit script. We're going to add the enemy script. An enemy knows about attack range and all that stuff. I don't think I'm even using attack range anymore, right? Like, where is that even? Is that on actor? Yeah, let's get rid of these. Allowed attack angle. Is that something I might possibly use in the future? No, I believe that. I was going to say I believe that I'm going to track things as far as range and access to enemies via some kind of row system. So there'll be a front row of enemies, back row of enemies, so on and so forth. But yeah, because we have the focused enemy, and that's always the enemy that can be attacked, and we'll determine if the player can attack the enemy based on if they can focus on the enemy, which, depending on which attack they're doing, it might change whether or not they can target enemies in the back row. Yeah, so we're going to nix this for the moment. So battle behavior was using that. Well, I guess since the enemies are always facing the player, that was always true, right? I do want that concept of can they attack the target. So we'll leave that there, but we're not going to use the properties. And what about this? What about UI Manager? I believe I do need that. Oh, which means I probably should have based these prefabs off of. Yeah, I should have based these off of the enemy combatant. Where's my prefab? There we are. Yeah, because I forgot about the child things. These are going to be a little different, aren't they? Well, I guess it just has this battle detection, which I still don't know if I'm using or not. I don't believe I am. There's no script or anything attached to it. What's the difference here? Battle behavior. Yeah, it just knows about the canvas. And battle behavior has that 10-2. And it's got the sphere. So I'm going to use my snipping tool here. Take a rectangle of this. So I can hang on to that. And we are going to look at, start with a grazing enemy. So we have a grazing behavior, sphere collider, all this jive. Let's add battle behavior. It's gonna be, so what's going on in battle behavior anyways? Awake, we get the enemy, we subscribe to the killed event. On destroy, we unhook from kill. We attack when our stamina is full, which I think is the only thing that Ken attack has here. Yeah. That's about it. I don't quite trust awake on this front. Well, I do, but I want to be consistent. Consistency with my other AI behaviors. Let's go ahead and do that. Yes, the enemy killed on destroyed. We're going to drop. Yeah, so that should be fine. And our battle behavior is going to start off disabled. Now, here's the trick, right? So, we set this up as an iBattle participant. On battle start, we enable it. On battle disable, we're going to disable it. I think at some point I want to switch, instead of doing this iBattle participant, which does a notification from the battle manager when the battle starts and when the battle ends, to all components of enemy and its children that implement the interface. And similarly to player, I'd rather just use the interface for iBattle system and hook up to the events. But I think for the sake of doing this, I'm gonna switch my AI behaviors to be iBattle participants. Who else is an iBattle participant? Before I go too far down this line. Battle behavior. Behavior manager, which we do not use anymore. Proximity perceptor is an iBattle participant. We turn off the Preceptor during battle. Yes. I don't think we use this anymore. Line of sight focused enemy. Player is movement controller. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. No, I want it to be iBattle participant, and there's a very important reason why. Because I do not want AI behaviors to change on enemies who are not in the battle. And I know for a fact that the iBattle participant interface is only has its methods invoked on enemies that are in the battle. So yeah, I definitely want to proceed with that. So what are we doing? Grazing behavior. So our grazing behavior is going to become a iBattle participant as well. On battle start, this dot enabled is false. On battle end, this dot enabled is equal to true. So that's fine. Now let's see here. Is that it? That might be it. So grazing enemy, let's go ahead and apply. Let's delete that. Now for our spawn information, we need an enemy that's going to use that prefab. Well, actually first, I guess, we need to add our prefab to the prefab dictionary. And actually, while we're at it, let's just go ahead and do patrol because, I mean, quite frankly, this level is set up to deal with patrolling enemies and not grazing ones. So we can come back and switch that up a little bit if we need to. So let's hook up our UI manager. The rest of that's probably fine. Apply. Enemy, battle behavior, delete. Movement speed on battle behavior doesn't matter since it shouldn't be moving. And let's go ahead and patrol behavior. We'll make him an iBattle participant. And same deal. Now, how about our prefab? We'll duplicate this again. Patrol single enemy. We're going to take that key with us back into our enemy information repository. And let's go ahead and just take what? Which one's already using patrol? So patrol enemy unit is Gray Bunny 1. Our Overworld prefab is going to be patrol single enemy. Our battle prefab doesn't matter because we're not going to use it for this setup. So our spawn location is going to use Gray Bunny 1. Yes, Gray Bunny 1. Max enemies, monster keys, yes. So let's see what comes out of this. So no errors, that's always a good first sign. No enemies, that's a bad first sign. Enemy spawn location. Patrol enemy unit. Has no model. Why doesn't he have a model? Well, at least he's patrolling. At least there's that. Did I not, Forest Bunny Gray. Enemy spawn location. Enemy spawner.set model. en.transform. em.model key. We've got a model placeholder under here. This was switched to an enemy spawn location, yes. Enemy spawn location. Gray Bunny 1. Gray Bunny 1 has Forest Gray Bunny as the model key. Our object pool has Forest Gray Bunny as this object pool, which has this guy, which is good. Okay, that's really weird. Also, he's already in battle. Why is he in battle? Battle behavior script is enabled. Why is it enabled? I thought it was disabled by default. Okay. There he comes. Some weird shenanigans. Let's make sure the chase takes off. Yeah, he's definitely following me. Let's engage in a battle. We engaged in a battle. We engaged in half of a battle. Yeah, okay, so escaping results in the enemy being destroyed because of the way our battle end behavior is assuming an enemy unit, and engaging in battle had some interesting side effects. Well, first off, too, let me just double check a few things here. So let's take a look at our patrol enemy. Yeah, it did just toggle. That's good. Now, how about our battle manager? So one step at a time. Battle manager. Start battle. On battle starting. Let's double check this. Oh. Pause. Oh, there we are. Battle system. So yeah, it's just battle manager on it. It's correct. So let's see here. So we clear the enemy collection. We clear our killed enemies. Save our player's starting information. the enemy unit is not equal to null, we're going to spawn enemies, which doesn't happen. Otherwise, we're going to add the single enemy to our list. Notify participant state change. Change the background music, which doesn't exist. We set up our HUD. We are making sure our game over screen is closed in the case that this is a restart. Reset our escape controller. In battle's true, enabled is true, battle started. At which point the player should be able to attack. I wonder if the enemy focus isn't actually picking up the enemies there because it's so close. Let's do a little finagling. Let's take the player and move him back a little bit. Nope. So what's the deal? Player can attack. Focused enemy is null. That's for sure. I'll tell you that for free. So why? why is that firing twice? Oh. Choking a bit here. So on battles, participant, notify participant state change, start battle. Wait a minute. Why is this hitting twice? Oh. Oops. I used to not be calling on battle start and on battle ended from within on the battle start and battle end. I was calling it from that notify participant state change because I was lazy. By the way, that doesn't help me much because I'm still not focused on the enemy for some reason, according to my setup. So, what's the deal here? Focused enemy. Is this line of sight focused enemy thing on my object somewhere? It is. Line of sight focused enemy. What is that? What does this even do? I think this was this was set up for, yeah, I battle on battle start. Yeah, I'd set this up before I had the focus locked, and I'd done it in preparation for enabling battle skills on the Overworld. Except I think I'd switched and decided I was just going to use it all around. So the deal's going to be that while you're outside of battle, it's invoking this check line of sight every quarter second. I guess I decided to change that at some point. And it's going to do a ray cast in the player's forward direction and determine if there is an enemy on that side of it. Get component in parent. That's what the enemy battle detection was for. Well, that's a thing. But quite frankly, that might be what's messing me up right now. So we're gonna disable, and we are going to disable and see if that's the deal. And there's my attack. So what about that guard? A lot of these things are way too far back now that I'm much closer in combat. So let's take a look at our prefab here for the enemy. So I really want to break this canvas pivot prefab that I have. Now, I want to say the guard QTE has a built-in offset. Yeah, see, it's still way too janky. I'm going to have to do some finagling on that as far as changing things like that. The guard QTE should have an offset, though. So, where would that be? Yeah, there we go. It's actually right there on the prefab. God, I hate having to change that though. Especially when it's because it's so close. Like, that's kind of the deal. It's so based on the oh. What? Why'd I get a destroy immediately? That was very weird. Sure. But I hate changing the position on the prefab like that because it's so tied to whatever I'm experimenting with right now. Like, I don't want to lose other information. You know what I mean? So yes, that enemy died. I got my experience. That's nice. Oh, God. Am I going to see the collision this time? Or the guard, rather? The answer's no. Is it even getting it? Guard prompt. Whoa, too fast. There we go, guard prompt. Well, because even still, it's placing it at 3. Yeah, that's actually alright. I'm planning on getting rid of the enemy display anyways, because I'm going to have a, well, at least the background part, right? Because having a red B health and green B stamina, like, that's pretty obvious at this point. I don't need the label, and I don't need the backdrop or anything. I can make those much smaller meters. And I think I'll make them only show up on enemies that the player's focusing on anyways. And hell, I might actually, beyond that, hide it behind a skill use or the player having some kind of equipment that lets them see the enemy's abilities or something like that. Right. But in any case, it seems like our battle system's working and everything's kind of set up. I just got to do a lot of, visual tweaking and stuff like that, busy work. So I'll go ahead and take care of that a little bit later. And I will see you guys next time. Take care.